Hello and welcome to the presentation on my project to work so far. So I added a splash screen with the icon and a nice logo, little loading screen. We can sign up. Let's sign up as like admin because there's already an admin account. So I'm just going to create a duplicate value. That way it shows that it can deal with duplicate entries in the database. I'll give them different passwords. They're differentiated by the user ID. Okay. Admin at 123 and sign up. Oh, password's not long enough. Let's try that again. Okay. Nice. So user named admin was created. The admin password, and a unique user ID. And we'll sign in as this new user. All right, let's go. Sign in. And there she is. Okay, so this is kind of like supposed to be the home page, the main section for the library where you would get all your books and stuff. So you can, for example, click on a book, and when you click on the book, it gives you the book display. Because you currently are logged in as a user, this button here is displayed, giving you the option to loan the book itself. Yeah, so when you click on loan, it brings up a booking or a book out form, which confirms your details, shows you the username that it's found, the title of the book that's being booked out, the date of issue, the date that it's being booked out, and the date that it's due back. The user can then either choose to accept or confirm the booking or the loan. If you hit confirm, obviously it's going to make the booking in your name, so it's telling you it's due, and what it's doing now is it's writing to the database, and there we go. It's successfully inserted. So we can close, yeah. The difference from the previous screen that I had built was that I'm passing a parameter through which tells it to display that button or not in the screen, yeah, so on this display. So there's actually a parameter. This is actually the same visual screen, yeah. It's the class called book display. Book display is being passed the argument as to whether or not to display the loan out button. So depending on where you are in the application, what the purpose of the area you are is, you'll have different functionality available. Yeah, so everything does work. Let's try and update a book. Um, oh, okay, didn't seem to find the title. We can update a user. Let's just go with like, I don't know, Nicole. It spotted me. Oh, I spotted it. Where is it? There. User list. So if we want to update the user, we will go with Nicole. Okay, cool. So let's say I wanted to change the email to my new email or Nicole's new email address. I'd be able to do that. I could give her a new password, or she'd have to update her password as well. Uh, and then yeah, there is also validation on here. So for example, if it's not the same, then it's gonna throw an error. Yeah. So it clears the password field and then, I mean the email field, and then you have to uh, reinsert it again. So like to prevent the typo. Okay, then you can submit it and it'll update it. Cool. Nice. Um, yeah, we can search for books. V was one I know that has a title, which is a single letter V. Yeah. Uh, let's say I want to update the book V. Yeah. So now we can give V a new title, a subtitle. Long string of text or whatever. Uh, Redman. Uh, let's see. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Let's just update that. And it was successfully updated. So now I can close this, and then I can say, for example, go back to book list, and then I can see in the book list, oh wait, V's details have changed. Double click on V, and my book display shows that I've updated the book. Yeah, and I also added in this little display block here. What it does is it allows you, you can go to company profile, it allows you as the owner or the administrator, whatever, to upload a company logo to the application. What it does is it actually copies it into the resources folder, like over here. Yeah, so for example, if I just select one of the logos that I made, take this one, and then say, okay, for example, select logo. That's not right. Okay, wrong message. But yeah, it was successful. Then you close that, close this, close that, reopen the app. Let it load up again. And there's the logo. So we were admin. And what was that password again? That looks right. Yeah. Okay. I also added a feature for what was it? You can also select or set the profile you want to use to connect to a different database if you want. These are all just time zones and country settings and stuff, which are for just like company profile. And then the connectivity settings would be, yeah, this is where you would enter and save different configurations, depending on if you had your own personal database or a different database that you prefer to use. Yeah, so this is just a connection test. This because the application does require a connection to connect to the server, the database server. Um, these are just to help you establish or the fact that you have got a connection. Yeah, so these config files are actually written to the application creates the configs. If they aren't there, it writes to them. And then the whatever information you put in here then gets written to that config file, and the application will reference the config file. If anytime the configurations do go wrong, you can always just delete the config file, and the application will recreate the config files automatically. To get you back to the base default settings with the base default connection to the database, the correct password and username. Yeah, so I will include that in my postings. It's just I don't want to include the database credentials on YouTube. So I will definitely include screenshots as to how that all works in my actual documentation. Yeah, so I haven't done anything with user profile yet, and this is not done yet. So yeah, it's not hundreds yet. But the bookings part does work. It actually does insert into the database. For example, if I click on a book here, and I want to book it out. I'm currently logged in as admin. I confirm the booking. If I confirm the booking, then yeah, it does go through to the database.